established.
G'day everyone. Welcome to another episode of Mr. B and Friends Truth Seekers. This video is of entertainment purposes only. Today, we're diving headfirst into the heart of the Australian outback, to a place shrouded in secrecy, rumor and speculation. A place where the line between fact and fiction blurs like a mirage shimmering on the horizon. We're talking about Pine Gap, a joint US-Australian facility that's become synonymous with government secrecy and whispers of hidden agendas. Officially, it's just a communication station, but for those in the know, it's much more than that. It's a site that has captivated the imaginations of conspiracy theorists and truth seekers alike. For decades, Pine Gap has been a hotbed of speculation. Some say it's a hub for spying, others claim it's home to groundbreaking technology. And then there are those who believe it plays a crucial role in our understanding of the cosmos. One thing's for sure though, Pine Gap holds secrets that governments have gone to great lengths to protect. In this series, we're going to peel back the layers of secrecy surrounding Pine Gap. We'll delve into its history, examine the claims, and separate fact from fiction. Get ready, because we're about to embark on a journey into the heart of one of the world's most enigmatic locations. The Australian outback is a vast and rugged expanse, known for its stunning landscapes and harsh conditions. It's home to unique wildlife like kangaroos and emus, and has a rich cultural history, particularly with the indigenous peoples who have lived here for thousands of years. The indigenous Australians have a deep connection to the land, and their stories and rock art tell tales of the dream time, a time when the world was created. But amidst this natural beauty and cultural heritage lies Pine Gap, a place that stands in stark contrast to its surroundings. Pine Gap is equipped with an array of satellite dishes and high-tech equipment, making it a focal point for intelligence gathering and surveillance. The facility was established in the 1960s during the height of the Cold War, a time when the world was gripped by fear and uncertainty. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a tense standoff, and Pine Gap played a crucial role in monitoring communications and missile launches. Inside Pine Gap, operators work around the clock, analyzing data and providing critical intelligence to both the US and Australian governments. Security at Pine Gap is tight, with guards patrolling the perimeter and advanced surveillance systems in place to deter any intruders. Over the years, Pine Gap has been the target of protests and demonstrations, with activists calling for greater transparency and questioning the facility's true purpose. Some declassified documents have shed light on Pine Gap's activities, but much of what goes on there remains shrouded in mystery. There have even been reports of UFO sightings near Pine Gap, adding another layer of intrigue to the facility's already enigmatic reputation. Some believe that Pine Gap is involved in space research, studying the cosmos, and possibly even communicating with extraterrestrial life. Others speculate that the facility is home to advanced technology that is years ahead of what is publicly known. Pine Gap's role in global surveillance cannot be understated, as it helps monitor communications and movements around the world. The facility also plays a key role in the US-Australian alliance, strengthening the bond between the two nations. In recent years, there have been concerns about Pine Gap's involvement in cyber warfare, with fears that it could be used to launch cyber attacks or defend against them. Interestingly, Some researchers believe that Pine Gap is also involved in climate research, studying weather patterns and environmental changes. There are even claims that the facility is working on renewable energy projects, harnessing the power of the sun and wind to create sustainable energy solutions. Another theory is that Pine Gap is conducting cutting-edge medical research, developing new treatments and technologies to improve human health. Some speculate that Pine Gap is at the forefront of artificial intelligence research, creating advanced AI systems that could revolutionize various industries. There are also rumors that the facility is working on quantum computing, a technology that has the potential to transform computing as we know it. And then there are the more outlandish claims, such as Pine Gap being involved in time travel research, exploring the possibilities of bending time and space. Some even believe that Pine Gap is studying parallel universes, delving into the mysteries of the multiverse and alternate realities. There are also theories that the facility is researching ancient civilizations, uncovering lost knowledge and technologies from the past. Another area of speculation is genetic research, with some suggesting that Pine Gap is involved in DNA sequencing and genetic engineering. And then there are the more sinister theories, such as Pine Gap being involved in mind control and psychological experiments. Some conspiracy theorists even believe that Pine Gap is connected to secret societies, working behind the scenes to shape global events. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. Pine Gap continues to be a source of fascination and speculation, with its secrets remaining closely guarded. In this series, we'll continue to explore the many facets of Pine Gap, seeking to uncover the truth behind the rumors and speculation. So join us as we embark on this journey into the heart of one of the world's most enigmatic locations and discover what lies beneath the surface of Pine Gap. To understand the secrets of Pine Gap, we need to go back to its origins, back to the height of the Cold War, a time of global tension and paranoia. It was 1966 when the Australian and US governments signed a secretive agreement, an agreement to establish a joint defense facility in the remote Australian outback. Thus, Pine Gap was born. Initially, its purpose was clear: to gather signals intelligence, to intercept communications and monitor the activities of potential adversaries. The Cold War was a time of shadows and whispers, and Pine Gap became a vital tool in the West's arsenal. But as the Cold War thawed, the need for such a facility should have diminished. Yet, Pine Gap not only remained operational, it expanded, its role seemingly evolving alongside the geopolitical landscape. This raises the question, why? Why would a facility designed for Cold War espionage remain so important in the 21st century? The answer, some believe, lies beyond the realm of conventional intelligence gathering. While the official narrative focuses on intelligence gathering, many believe Pine Gap's true purpose runs far deeper. Whispers of black projects, UFO research, and even contact with extraterrestrial life have swirled around the facility for decades. These claims, often dismissed as the stuff of science fiction, have gained traction in recent years. Whistleblowers with inside knowledge of the facility's operations have come forward with startling allegations. Allegations that paint a picture of Pine Gap as a hub for cutting-edge technology and research that pushes the boundaries of human understanding. Could it be that Pine Gap has become a modern-day Area 51, a place where the impossible becomes possible, hidden from the prying eyes of the public? The evidence, while often circumstantial, is compelling enough to warrant further investigation. We'll be delving into these claims in more detail later in the series, examining the accounts of whistleblowers and exploring the potential implications of their revelations. So what is Pine Gap really hiding? Is it simply a relic of the Cold War, repurposed for a new era of global surveillance? Or is there something more to this enigmatic facility in the heart of Australia? Over the course of this series, we'll embark on a journey to uncover the truth behind Pine Gap. We'll delve into the history, the conspiracies, and the evidence. We'll hear from experts, analyze the claims, and separate fact from fiction. Join me as we venture into the unknown, as we attempt to unmask Pine Gap and reveal its hidden agenda. The story of Pine Gap begins, as many Cold War tales do, with fear. The world was on edge, caught in a tense standoff between the United States and the Soviet Union. Nuclear annihilation was a very real threat. Both superpowers were desperate for any advantage, any edge in this high-stakes game of global chess. In this climate of paranoia, intelligence gathering became paramount. Knowing your enemy's next move could be the difference between peace and mutually assured destruction. The United States, eager to expand its surveillance network, found a willing partner in Australia. The vast, sparsely populated Australian outback, far from prying eyes, offered the perfect cover for a top-secret listening post. And so, in 1966, under the cloak of secrecy, construction began on a facility officially known as the Joint Defense Space Research Facility. But to those in the know, it was simply Pine Gap. Pine Gap's early years were all about signals intelligence, or SIGINT. Massive antennas, housed within iconic geodesic domes, sprouted from the red desert sand. These were the ears of the West, listening in on Soviet communications, tracking their movements and analyzing their capabilities. Every intercepted message, every decoded transmission, provided valuable insight into the Soviet war machine. Pine Gap played a crucial role in keeping tabs on the Soviet nuclear arsenal, providing early warning of any potential attacks. It was a dangerous game, but one that the West felt was necessary to maintain the balance of power. But Pine Gap wasn't just about listening in on the Soviets. Its reach extended across the globe, monitoring communications in Asia, the Middle East, and beyond. It became a vital hub in the global intelligence network, providing the United States and its allies with a constant stream of information. Australia's geographical location played a crucial role in Pine Gap's effectiveness. Situated in the southern hemisphere, it provided a unique vantage point for monitoring Soviet activity in the Indian Ocean and Southeast Asia. The Soviets, well aware of Pine Gap's capabilities, went to great lengths to try and disrupt its operations. They jammed signals, attempted to intercept communications, and even sent spy ships to patrol the waters off the Australian coast. The cat-and-mouse game between Pine Gap and the Soviets was a constant reminder of the high stakes involved. Every intercepted message, every successful countermeasure, was a small victory in the ongoing Cold War struggle. But as the years passed and the Cold War began to thaw, the focus of Pine Gap's operations began to shift. Section 4. A Changing World. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 marked the beginning of the end for the Soviet Union. The Cold War, which had cast a long shadow over the world for decades, was finally coming to an end. With the Soviet threat receding, questions arose about the future of Pine Gap. Was it still relevant in a world no longer dominated by superpower rivalry? The answer, as we'll see, is a resounding yes. While the original mission of Pine Gap may have been rooted in Cold War paranoia, its capabilities had far broader applications. The technology developed and deployed at Pine Gap could be used to monitor a wide range of threats, from terrorism to natural disasters. And as new threats emerged, so too did new whispers about Pine Gap's true purpose. Section 1. A New Era of Secrecy. The end of the Cold War brought a sense of relief to the world, but it didn't signal the end of secrecy. If anything, the shadows surrounding Pine Gap seemed to deepen in the years that followed. The facility, once focused on a single, well-defined adversary, now operated in a world of more complex and less predictable threats. The rise of global terrorism, the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction, and the growing assertiveness of regional powers all presented new challenges for intelligence agencies. Pine Gap, with its powerful surveillance capabilities, was seen as a vital tool in this new era of uncertainty. But the facility's mission was no longer simply about gathering intelligence. It was also about processing, analyzing, and disseminating that information in real time to decision makers around the world. Pine Gap had become a nerve center for global security. a hub where data from satellites, drones, and other sources was fused together to provide a comprehensive picture of the world's hotspots. Section 2. From Nevada to the Outback. As Pine Gap's role in global intelligence gathering expanded, so too did the speculation surrounding its activities. Rumors began to circulate that the facility was involved in something far more secretive than simply monitoring communications. Something that hinted at a hidden agenda that extended beyond the realm of conventional espionage. Some whispered that Pine Gap had become the new home of the kind of black projects and cutting-edge research that had long been associated with Area 51, the infamous US military base in Nevada. With Area 51 facing increasing scrutiny from the media and the public, it made sense that the US government might seek to relocate some of its most sensitive operations to a more remote and less accessible location. The Australian outback, with its vast empty spaces and sparse population, certainly fit the bill. And Pine Gap, already a highly secure and secretive facility, would have been the ideal location to house such operations. Section 3. The UFO connection. Among the most persistent rumors surrounding Pine Gap is its alleged connection to UFO research. For decades, conspiracy theorists have claimed that the US government has been secretly recovering and reverse engineering crashed alien spacecraft, and that Pine Gap is one of the key locations where this research is being conducted. While there is no concrete evidence to support these claims, the rumors have persisted, fueled by the facility's secrecy and the remoteness of its location. Some former employees and contractors have come forward with stories of strange lights in the sky, unusual activity at the base, and even encounters with beings they believe to be extraterrestrial. These accounts are often dismissed as the product of overactive imaginations or attempts to profit from sensationalized stories. But for those who believe that we are not alone in the universe, Pine Gap represents a tantalizing possibility, a place where the truth about UFOs and alien visitation is being hidden from the public. Section 4. A cosmic switchboard. Beyond the speculation about UFOs, some believe that Pine Gap plays a crucial role in humanity's exploration of space. The facility's powerful antennas and advanced technology, they argue, are not just for monitoring earthly communications, but are also used to communicate with spacecraft and probes exploring the far reaches of our solar system and beyond. Pine Gap's location in the southern hemisphere, far from urban areas and sources of radio interference, makes it an ideal location for deep space communication. The facility's large dishes could be used to pick up faint signals from distant spacecraft, and its powerful transmitters could send commands and receive data from probes exploring Mars, Jupiter, and beyond. If Pine Gap is indeed involved in deep space communication, it would add another layer of intrigue to the facility's already mysterious reputation. It would mean that this remote outpost in the Australian outback is not just a hub for intelligence gathering, but also a gateway to the stars, a place where humanity is reaching out to explore the cosmos, and perhaps even search for signs of extraterrestrial life. Section 1. Whispers from the inside. Pine Gap, by its very nature, thrives on secrecy. Yet over the years, cracks have appeared in its carefully constructed wall of silence. Former employees and contractors, bound by strict confidentiality agreements, have risked their freedom and reputations to shed light on what they claim are the facility's true activities. These whistleblowers, often motivated by a sense of moral duty or a desire to expose wrongdoing, have painted a picture of Pine Gap that diverges significantly from the official narrative. They speak of advanced technologies, classified programs, and a culture of secrecy that borders on paranoia. One of the most compelling accounts comes from Mike Frost, a former intelligence analyst at Pine Gap. In his book, The Spy Who Came In From the Outback, Frost alleges that the facility is involved in a wide range of clandestine activities, including satellite surveillance, electronic warfare, and even space-based weapons systems. Section 2. The Man Who Knew Too Much. Frost's revelations sent shockwaves through the intelligence community and brought renewed scrutiny to Pine Gap's operations. He claimed that the facility was no longer simply a listening post, but had become a hub for offensive cyber operations, capable of launching crippling cyber attacks against enemy targets. He also alleged that Pine Gap was involved in the development of space-based weapon systems, including lasers and particle beams, capable of destroying enemy satellites and ballistic missiles in orbit. These claims, if true, would have serious implications for global security and the delicate balance of power between nations. Frost's credibility was bolstered by his background and his detailed knowledge of Pine Gap's inner workings. However, his allegations were met with fierce denials from both the Australian and US governments, who accused him of exaggerating his role and fabricating information. Section 3. Space Fence or Star Wars. Another whistleblower who has brought attention to Pine Gap is David Rosenberg, a former contractor who worked on the facility's computer systems. Rosenberg claims that Pine Gap is playing a key role in a highly classified program known as the Space Fence. The Space Fence, according to Rosenberg, is a network of ground-based radars and space-based sensors designed to track objects in orbit, including satellites, debris, and potential threats such as ballistic missiles. The system, he claims, is far more advanced than anything publicly acknowledged and gives the US military unprecedented awareness of activity in space. Rosenberg's revelations have fueled speculation that Pine Gap is at the forefront of a new space race, one in which control of the high ground could determine the outcome of future conflicts. The facility's remote location and advanced capabilities, they argue, make it the ideal location for monitoring and potentially weaponizing space. Section 4. Decoding the Cosmos. While some whistleblowers have focused on Pine Gap's alleged role in espionage and military operations, others have made even more extraordinary claims, suggesting that the facility is involved in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI. They point to the facility's powerful antennas and advanced signal processing capabilities, arguing that they could be used to detect and decode radio signals from distant civilizations. Some even claim that Pine Gap has already received such signals, but that the information is being kept secret from the public. While the idea of Pine Gap being used to listen for alien signals may seem far-fetched, it is not entirely outside the realm of possibility. The facility's remote location and advanced technology make it an ideal location for SETI research, and the possibility, however remote, that we are not alone in the universe is a tantalizing one. Pine Gap's activities, shrouded in secrecy as they may be, have profound implications for global security and the delicate balance of power in the world. As a hub for intelligence gathering and analysis, the facility plays a critical role in shaping the way nations perceive and respond to threats. The information gathered at Pine Gap is shared with intelligence agencies and governments around the world, influencing their decisions on matters ranging from diplomacy and trade to military deployments and interventions. The facility's assessments of potential threats can make the difference between peace and conflict, stability and chaos. But this influence comes with a heavy responsibility. The intelligence gathered at Pine Gap must be accurate, objective, and free from political bias. If the information is flawed, or if it is used to advance narrow national interests at the expense of global security, the consequences could be catastrophic. The sharing of intelligence is a complex and often controversial aspect of international relations. Nations must balance the need to cooperate with allies against the imperative to protect their own secrets and interests. Pine Gap, as a joint US-Australian facility, sits at the heart of this delicate balancing act. The information gathered there is shared with a select group of allies, including the United Kingdom, Canada, and New Zealand, under the auspices of the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance. This alliance, forged during the Cold War, has evolved over the years to address new threats and challenges, but it has also been criticized for its lack of transparency and accountability. and for its potential to be used for purposes that go beyond legitimate intelligence gathering. In recent years, much of the focus on Pine Gap has centered on its role in monitoring the activities of China. As China has emerged as a global power, its growing military and economic might has raised concerns among its neighbors and the United States. Pine Gap's location in the Southern Hemisphere gives it a strategic vantage point for monitoring Chinese activities in the region, including its naval deployments, missile tests, and space program. The information gathered there is seen as crucial for understanding China's intentions and capabilities, and for informing the response of the United States and its allies. However, this focus on China has also raised concerns about the potential for miscalculation and escalation. Some argue that the intense scrutiny of China's activities could be seen as provocative, and that the information gathered at Pine Gap could be misinterpreted or used to justify a more confrontational approach. Section 4, a new arms race. The revelations about Pine Gap's alleged role in space-based weapon systems have added another layer of complexity to the debate about its implications for global security. If the facility is indeed involved in the development of such weapons, it would mark a significant escalation of the arms race and could have destabilizing consequences for international relations. The deployment of weapons in space would violate existing treaties and could trigger a new arms race as nations scramble to develop their own space-based defenses. This could lead to a militarization of space, making it a potential battleground and increasing the risk of conflict. Moreover, the development of space-based weapons raises profound ethical and legal questions. Who would control these weapons? What would be the rules of engagement? And what would be the consequences of an accidental launch or a miscalculation? Section 5. The price of secrecy. The secrecy surrounding Pine Gap's activities has long been a source of controversy. While acknowledging the need to protect sensitive intelligence, critics argue that the level of secrecy surrounding the facility is excessive and undermines democratic accountability. The lack of transparency, they argue, makes it difficult to hold the governments of Australia and the United States accountable for the facility's activities. It also fuels suspicion and distrust, creating an environment where conspiracy theories can flourish. Moreover, the secrecy surrounding Pine Gap can have a chilling effect on public debate about important issues related to intelligence gathering, national security, and the role of technology in society. When information is kept secret, it becomes more difficult to have an informed and nuanced discussion about these issues. Section 6. Accountability in the shadows. The challenge for governments is to balance the need for secrecy with the imperative for accountability. How can they ensure that intelligence agencies are operating within the bounds of the law and in accordance with democratic values, while also protecting sensitive information from those who would seek to do harm? One approach is to strengthen oversight mechanisms, such as parliamentary committees and independent review boards. These bodies can provide a check on the power of intelligence agencies and ensure that they are operating within the law. Another approach is to promote greater transparency, where possible, about intelligence activities. This could involve declassifying documents, holding public hearings, and engaging in more open dialogue with the media and the public. Section 7. The right to know. The debate about Pine Gap highlights the tension between national security and the public's right to know. Governments have a responsibility to protect their citizens from harm, but they also have a responsibility to be transparent and accountable to those they serve. Striking the right balance between these competing values is essential for a healthy democracy. When governments operate in secrecy, they erode public trust and create an environment where abuse of power can occur unchecked. On the other hand, excessive transparency can compromise national security and put lives at risk. Finding the right balance requires careful consideration, ongoing dialogue, and a willingness to adapt to changing circumstances. Section 8. Trust no one. The revelations about Pine Gap's activities, whether true or exaggerated, serve as a reminder that we live in a world where information is power. The ability to gather, analyze, and exploit information is crucial for national security, economic competitiveness, and even personal privacy. But this power can be used for good or for ill. It can be used to protect the innocent or to target the vulnerable. It can be used to promote understanding or to sow discord. In this environment, it is more important than ever to be critical consumers of information, to question assumptions, and to be wary of those who claim to have all the answers. Trust, but verify. Section 9. The future of Pine Gap. As technology continues to advance at an exponential pace, the capabilities of facilities like Pine Gap will only grow. The facility is likely to play an even more central role in intelligence gathering, surveillance, and perhaps even military operations in the years to come. This raises profound questions about the future of warfare, the nature of privacy, and the very meaning of national sovereignty in a world where borders are becoming increasingly porous to information flows. The choices we make today about how to manage these powerful technologies will shape the world we leave to future generations. It is a responsibility we cannot afford to shirk. Pine Gap stands as a stark reminder of the paradoxical world we inhabit. In an age of instant communication and global interconnectedness, where secrets seem increasingly difficult to keep, places like Pine Gap endure, shrouded in layers of secrecy and speculation. It represents an enduring truth. Some truths are considered too dangerous for public consumption. We are told that such secrecy is necessary to protect us, to safeguard our freedoms and our way of life. We are assured that the intelligence gathered at Pine Gap is used responsibly, ethically, and only when absolutely necessary. But without transparency and accountability, these assurances ring hollow. The very existence of Pine Gap, with its unknown capabilities and its hidden agenda, erodes trust in those who govern us. It fuels suspicion, breeds conspiracy theories, and undermines the very values it is supposed to protect. It begs the question, who watches the watchers? The challenge for any democracy is to find the right balance between national security and the public's right to know. Governments have a duty to protect their citizens from harm, but they also have a duty to be transparent and accountable to those they serve. This balancing act is never easy, but it becomes even more fraught when dealing with matters of intelligence and national security. On the one hand, there is a legitimate need to protect sensitive information from those who would seek to do us harm. Revealing too much about intelligence gathering methods, sources, and capabilities could compromise ongoing operations, endanger the lives of agents in the field, and embolden our adversaries. On the other hand, excessive secrecy breeds distrust, undermines democratic accountability, and creates a climate where abuse of power can flourish unchecked. When governments operate in the shadows, hidden from public scrutiny, it becomes easier to justify actions that would be deemed unacceptable if exposed to the light of day. The individuals who work at Pine Gap, from the analysts who decipher intercepted communications to the technicians who maintain the facility's sophisticated equipment, carry a heavy burden. They are the guardians of secrets, entrusted with information that could have profound implications for global security and the fate of nations. They operate in a world of shadows, their work often hidden from public view and subject to intense scrutiny from those who question the facility's true purpose. They must grapple with the ethical dilemmas inherent in their work, knowing that their actions, however well-intentioned, could have unintended and far-reaching consequences. Yet they continue to serve, driven by a sense of duty, patriotism, or perhaps simply a fascination with the unknown. They are the invisible guardians of our security, working tirelessly behind the scenes to keep us safe from harm. Pine Gap, despite decades of scrutiny, speculation, and occasional revelations, remains an enigma. Its true purpose, beyond the official narrative of intelligence gathering and communication interception, is still shrouded in mystery. Whether it is a hub for space-based weapons development, a listening post for extraterrestrial signals, or simply a highly sophisticated spy facility, Pine Gap continues to capture the imagination and fuel the debates about government secrecy, technological advancement, and the limits of human knowledge. As we move further into the 21st century, a time of unprecedented technological change and geopolitical uncertainty, the role of places like Pine Gap is likely to become even more significant. The decisions we make today about how to manage these powerful technologies, how to balance the need for security with the imperative for transparency, and how to ensure that these capabilities are used responsibly and ethically will shape the world we leave to future generations. Pine Gap, for all its secrecy and controversy, stands as a stark reminder of the stakes involved. Don't forget to tickle the like and subscribe button. Till next time.